Ryan Rhoten. Hello, how are you?
What's going on? Now that we have the technical piece figured out.
Yeah. Well, we don't know exactly. We don't know if you've figured it out because we're not sure exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It might be the fact that you're in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. You're ND, North Dakota, and
Correct.
you're in a brand new rig, which is pretty exciting.
That is correct.
So, tell me more.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know the story, but maybe a lot of people don't. So, anybody who's watching and wants to know, about July? Yeah, about 3.5 weeks ago, we took ownership of an RV, and my wife and I are now going to be traveling essentially around the country and working from the road. So
Fantastic.
that all, and we're on our first big trip right now. We left Friday. We're going to be gone for 6 weeks, and after August 8th, we're going to a Foo Fighters concert in Albuquerque, and then we'll wrap up our trip and head back home.
Wonderful. I love the way that the branding, that little corner branding box at the bottom there, your navy fits in. I mean, you float with the background of that navy that I happen to choose. I love that you're always on brand, my friend.
Yeah, it's totally on purpose.
complete happenstance. All right, so I don't see any comments right now. I can see that 22 people are live with us now. Welcome. I'll keep an eye on comments and try to involve you and bring you in. Any questions about what we're about to discuss, please do add them to the comment section, the chat section. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Check this out. Bang. Ooh. I worked on this all morning. So, speaking of branding, how about me nailing those the colors, the color palette of the book?
I love it.
Right?
It's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, quite by accident. Again, the way these things work out.
Never by accident. Totally on purpose.
Pretty close. So the idea today is for us to have a general chit chat about LinkedIn stuff, LinkedIn news, all the latest. And we're also going to reference our book. And towards the end, we're going to mention our online course. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to do this. Check it out. I can scroll.
Woo-hoo. Oh, man. You got it going on.
Right? All right. Let's talk about LinkedIn.
Is that GoodNotes? Are you using GoodNotes?
I'm copy and pasting as I love to do, and I'm using that's good old fashioned Apple, my Apple whatchamacallit?
Notes?
Pages. Yeah.
Okay. In case anybody asks, what tech are you using? A lot of people like to ask that question.
Can you read it okay? I hope everyone can read it okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
I see John Aspirin in chat. Okay. All right. So LinkedIn Creator Mode. This was the official verbiage on LinkedIn Creator Mode. And it lets you change the connect button to follow. Lets you display the number of followers. And you can choose to display topics. Refers to them as topics, not hashtags, on your profile itself. Says it also reorders your featured activity sections, and only in the activity sections it shows the shares and I guess your posts, and not so much activity. In other words, all the comments, which can get very busy. Now on the connect to follow, when did you change that to follow, buddy?
Years ago, maybe.
Yeah, long time ago. So that's not you. What about display of number of followers? That's always been there, right?
Yeah, it's always been there. I mean, it's not as obvious as it is with connect mode, but it's always been there.
Yeah, so they just moved that up. Okay. The reordering, okay, shoulder shrug from me, and just showing more signal, less noise in the activity section. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. The weirdest bit for me, Ryan, and for many of our viewers, I'm sure, is this whole business about unclickable hashtags. I mean, and the fact that LinkedIn refers to them as topics. I mean, WTF? Why? What? Why the discrepancy? Are they hashtags or are they topics? And why are you referring to them as topics, LinkedIn? And what is their purpose? I'll come back to that later. What do you think the purpose of putting topics, or A, calling them topics, and B, having them as unclickable hashtags on your profile page? What do you? Why do you think LinkedIn have done this?
All I can think of is that they must have a larger plan that we are not yet privy to, which they should either share that plan and let us know why they're calling things that way, or stick with normal convention naming until they change to the plan. But either way, a hashtag is a hashtag. I mean, it's known throughout social media. It's a way to search for stuff, and it doesn't matter whether you're on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. You can search by hashtags. So they should just call it hashtags.
Yeah, it's sowing the seeds of confusion, and then a lot of folks are chatting about this and saying, "Well, look, all right, creator mode may be a damp squib right now, or creator mode might just be like this. Might be phase 1, so maybe phase 2 changes something about those topics, or makes them more relevant or more impactful in some way. Maybe that's coming. So I guess that's a fair point. I'm in the damp squib camp at the moment, mainly because look, I've already had the follow button for ages, and this thing about the follower count, right? It's always been there, and just moving it up to above the fold ain't no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, for us who are fans of making things simple,
yeah.
Anything that LinkedIn introduces that adds confusion, like topics versus hashtags, when in fact they tell you all the time we want to use hashtags.
Yes,
doesn't make it simple, and it doesn't make it clear.
Yeah. Now, are you getting paid from how many times you mentioned LinkedIn made simple?
No, I don't know. Are you paying me?
I love the way you slip that in. All right, so yeah, and then the other thing about hashtags in the official verbiage, again, this was to creator mode. Use hashtags no more than 3. So LinkedIn keeps on saying, look, it's 3, no more than 3. It's 3. And I'm following that. I've always tended to follow that. I think folks say, well, look, you can do 4. It's nothing really happens. Your content doesn't suffer apparently, but it's really difficult to test. And then I did a poll about creator mode recently. I'll come to that towards the end of the show. Is it a show or is it presentation?
I think it's a show. We'll call it a show. Right. By the way, did you see, so I know we may be getting there, but have you seen any kind of advantages for creator mode? I know personally for me, I haven't really seen any. I'm just curious if you have.
No, I haven't. So I switched it on as soon as I got it, which I guess was, I don't know, was it 5-6 weeks ago or so? And I must admit that I've been playing with LinkedIn Live and not doing the usual, content that I usually do. So probably not a good test subject in that case. But others, as you'll see by this poll, others are also in the shoulder shrug category too, as far as CM is concerned. I want to say hi to some folks in chat. Christina Lozef is asking, have you tried using Canva? Have I tried using Canva? I am a Canva champion and strong advocate and adherent. I love Canva purely because it gives me a lot of stuff ready to go that I can change. And it's super easy to use. So yeah, I'm a huge fan. Christina also says, do you see any advantages in using creator mode? No, I currently don't. Ryan's in the same camp, and I'll give you a theory towards the end of the show. So keep with us till the show end, and I'll give you my theory on creator mode. Yandero, hello, sir. Jeremy Picker. I like the intro stories video. Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's be careful though. That's not officially creator mode. Right, that's completely separate. That rolled out at the same time. So the whole headshot video thing, which I'm always going to call it because I think that's the most obvious way to describe it. Yeah, that's cool. Absolutely. Well, why not? And it's basically a stories, but it's stories in your headshot. So yeah, I like it. So that's cool. Vivek, hello. Oh, Claire Davis made it. Hello. So we're up to 27 people. Were you about to say something, bud?
No, just saying hi. Thanks for joining us. I like the LMS. Yes, that is LinkedIn made simple. I'm supposed to work that in as many times as
possible. Please. Yes. And then the other thing I highlighted here was, for a time, I don't think it's doing it anymore, but for a time, LinkedIn was suggesting hashtags as I was about to put a post together, and none of these were relevant. By the way, I don't think LinkedIn's doing that anymore. So this was still more about. So this was the thing to advertise creator mode before we actually got it. And then I took this screenshot from my LinkedIn Action User Group Heroes group on Facebook. So LinkedIn Action User Group Heroes. I'm sure lots of you in chat are already aware that this is a community of over 1,000 LinkedIn fans and obsessives who share a lot of useful information about LinkedIn on a regular basis. And this screenshot here was shared by my friend and an excellent resume specialist and career gal, Sarah Johnston. She says, look, this is a first for me. I haven't noticed this before. Hashtags that she follows are now showing up in her home feed. And so she's following hashtag interview. So that was just the other day she shared that. I haven't seen that yet. Have you seen anything hashtag related in the home feed as specifically labeled as that, Ryan?
I have not, no. But I will second it that Sarah is amazing and people should be following her.
She's fantastic. She's really, really good at what she does. And she's prolific and a very, very talented content creator. Yes. So that's interesting. But again, that's nothing to do with topics. That's a hashtag she has followed, right? So not related to topics. So the jury is still out. The next screenshot. What is this screenshot about, Ryan? What am I talking about here? Emphasis on talking.
It's like the bane of your existence, right? Old Clubhouse.
Where is LinkedIn Audio, or the LinkedIn version of Clubhouse? I would like to know.
Yeah. It's a good question. I think this is it. This is the audio version in video format.
So just close your eyes, and this is it. Yeah. So the new head of community is a guy called Andre Santallo, Andrei Santallo is Santalo. He's the new head of community. He's been in post about 6 weeks now, and he's supposedly in the vanguard of all things creators. And I commented today and said, "Hey, Andre, good morning. Is LinkedIn Audio coming in August or January?" And I don't expect a response.
And he said, "LinkedIn Audio, what?"
Yeah, I know. And then I suggested 4 potential names for it, because I LinkedIn Audio is boring. They have to do something other than that. And I said they could call it Talk Shop, Chatty Cathy, Sonic Social, or Conferenced In.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that one.
We'll see.
I like that one.
We'll see. And then, so this, by the way, all of this is taken from my my newsletter, my own version of my newsletter, because I don't have access. Do you have access to newsletters?
I do not, no.
So the select few people that do have access.
I don't have live though either. So.
Well, that's true. I should stop complaining. Maybe, I should stop complaining. But so my first article in Yonks, that's the technical term, by the way, Yonks, like for years was an article basically, and I said, look, they haven't given me newsletters, so this is my own newsletter, and all of this is taken from that newsletter that I did a few weeks ago.
The SSI thing, what's that all about? I see that.
Yeah. So social selling index, you're being disingenuous.
I'm being
disingenuous.
Okay, let's go with that. Sure.
Yeah, you'd be
Some people may not know. Like, why is your engage with insights so low when in fact you're one of the most engaging people?
Dude, it makes no sense. That's one of the reasons I pay no attention to SSI. However, my sales brothers and sisters who are, you know, hard at work doing that and need some kind of index, some kind of, you know, keeping it going, and you know, some kind of well, they're obsessed with targets, right? They live and die by targets and stuff. So yeah, I get why they're interested. I'm not, because it's absolutely not relevant. Yeah, and the fact that my lowest indicator of the 4 columns has always been engage with insights from a guy to a guy whose website is called Linked Insights.
Right. Crazy.
Can't be right. Can't be right.
I mean, I will say this about SSI.
Yes.
It does, at least, like if you go to the webpage, it directionally tells you the things that you should be doing on LinkedIn. So it's a good place to start if you haven't read LinkedIn Made Simple.
Yeah.
But after you go to that page and watch the short little, they're not videos, they're like click through slideshows from SlideShare. Once you get done with that, and then you really want to know how to use it, go check out LinkedIn Made Simple.
Is that 4 or 5 times you said that?
I don't know. How am I doing? Am I doing good? Like you said, mention it as many times as possible.
I'm going to say 5. I'm
like the color commentator.
But it's funny you should mention that, because we didn't chat before the show, but I did try. And I mean, this was my, I've never seen anyone do this, by the way. I've never seen anyone do a graphic of like trying to show, because you can't do that currently in a post, right? You can't really use graphics. So I use blocks just to indicate this is exactly accurate, right? One of these blocks represents 1 on the pillar.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to show that, because again, the other issue with polls, because this was a poll, is that you can't add graphics like that. You can add emojis. And funnily enough, a lot of people said, Andy, yes, mine does look similar. It's not a huge count, right? 332 votes. But I think that's weird. I think it's really strange that a lot of people have this as their lowest, their shortest column. Yeah. And when probing, someone who was had a large sales account with LinkedIn back in the day sent me this. And this is the only time, and you were talking about this, Ryan, this is the only time that I've actually seen a breakout of each column for SSI.
Yeah.
And if you look at Engage with Insights, check this out. Are you joining LinkedIn groups? No, because I mean, I'm not sure if this is relevant still. I mean, this was at least 3 years ago. I mean, LinkedIn groups have not been a thing for a long, long time. So if this is the basis, if this is still the Engage with Insights pillar, you know, this stuff matters, then yes, you are going to be scoring lowest there, because no one really likes LinkedIn groups currently. Are people engaging with your posts? That's still relevant. Are you engaging with people's posts? That's still relevant, I think. Yeah. Is your in-mail response rate at least 10%? Again, both of those groups and in-mail response, that's interesting if that's still relevant.
Yeah, I would imagine it is. If you think about it, maybe they just haven't updated it. Maybe you should experiment. Go join a bunch of groups.
Perhaps.
See what happens.
Perhaps. How many joins? How many joins can you groups?
You can join. What is it? Up to 100, right?
Yeah.
100. Yeah. So just go. Like if you're at 20, go. You should do this as an experiment. Go join like 50 more groups and see if that ticks up.
It's an easy experiment to do. That's for sure.
Because that means that you could just join any group you wanted. Like it didn't even have to be a relevant group, right? Just groups.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the in-mail thing, I mean, we could test that between ourselves.
True.
Or we could, we could get 20 people or so and say, all right, just respond, whatever it is, just respond. And then let's see if that changes the SSI. If I cared that much, but we could try it. And then the other thing in that newsletter was I was surprised when I was bumped from all-star to intermediate, and I didn't do anything. And apparently, it's related to location. So there's something going on in the back end, which makes this. So that's the answer, folks. If this has happened to you, then just check your location, edit it, choose a new location, and it'll go straight back up to all-star. And the wonderful Richard van der Blom said, yeah, they did something with their postal code. It would be zip code in the States on the back end. Apparently,
we got a comment. Apparently, groups don't matter. So don't go join.
What? That's Christina. That's sacrilege.
That's what we're hearing. I just see LinkedIn users, so I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's Christina. Joining a group does not matter. I'm still a member of, she says, I'm still a member of many with the same result. So she's referring to the SSI. Groups are terrible. LinkedIn, you should do something about groups.
We should totally do something about groups. I mean, we have a course and we have a group program.
Yes.
That in order to execute, we have to take people to Facebook to do a Facebook group. Wouldn't it be much better to have a program?
Yes.
About making LinkedIn simple.
Yes.
With a LinkedIn made simple group.
That's
which, by the way, you cannot name groups. They can't have the word LinkedIn in them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, I mean, no, that's a great point, that you have to go elsewhere to have community and to build relationships, because the existing LinkedIn product is subpar, is not good. And so an excellent way to reinvigorate the LinkedIn groups product would be by introducing an audio component in August rather than January.
That would be amazing.
So, I mean, it's taking far too long. I don't understand why it's taking. I mean, I obviously have no insight. I'm just saying it's taking.
Spotify's already released one. Twitter's already released one.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. So what is the problem? Why is it taking so long?
Yes, I agree with Haley, by the way. It would be amazing to live stream into a group, and you can't do it in LinkedIn, which is the reason why our LinkedIn Made Simple group training program is housed in Facebook, because we can do live streams from there. We can do you can organize by units. I mean, it's just, you can do so much more with Facebook. It's kind of annoying that LinkedIn hasn't caught up yet.
Right. I mean, I still have an icky feeling whenever I'm on Facebook, because I feel that they're watching my data. Yeah, they're watching everything I do. They're repackaging all of my data and selling it, and that's icky. However, the Facebook groups, I've heard, were wonderful for a long time now, and guess what? After having set one up and run one for almost 2 years, I can confirm they are amazing. They're just fantastic places to be, and certainly to be an admin. Yes, Yandara, LinkedIn group is horrible. That's the only reason why I still have Facebook. Me too, buddy. Me too. And then the other thing that I had to just bring up briefly is polls. So this is a screenshot from 2013. And I think polls disappeared shortly after. I think either in 2013 or 14. And this was what they looked like then. And I just wonder why we lost in the current version the demographics. So we had age, we had seniority, we had gender, and we could break it down by answers. Why didn't they just do that this time? I don't understand, because it's just no comparison to what you get now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they already had all the ways to do it, so why not just...
Bit of a strange decision, LinkedIn. We'll never find out, unfortunately, unless we get someone with the answers on the show sometime. That would be cool.
That would be.
And then this was me making a point that, look at what's required to get to all-star status, right? Photo, industry, position, summary, skills, education, location, right? That's important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's not on there?
It's interesting.
Recommendations.
I'm going to have to go, That would be smart.
Well, that's my point. Was recommendations are not important, not regarded as important by LinkedIn. And this was me complaining about someone saying, "Oh, look at me! I've got hundreds upon hundreds of recommendations." I said, "That's foolish. Why are you doing that? They don't even count." And guess what? On the mobile, on the app, there's no recommendation count. So take a hint, buddy. Just don't tout yourself as someone who's like highly recommended, because they only get, people don't even look at the top two. They're never going to scroll through hundreds of recommendations. It's really just a BS vanity stat that really doesn't matter much. Yeah. Then this was the other thing, Ryan. A few months ago, people were coming up against this weekly invitation event. Never hit by that personally. I don't know about you, but most of mine are inbound these days.
I've never seen that either, but like you, I've heard that this is popping up for a lot of folks.
Yeah. So not an issue, but if you see it, and then this is also now very, very common is this this notification. Lead the conversation by turning your comment into a post.
Yep.
Share this post. So share that comment and make it into a post. I personally have not done this. I tested it. I think I tested it once, and yeah, but my theory, Ryan, is this is part of the we need to feed the content creation machine. We need to actually get as many people on LinkedIn as possible producing content for us. We need that. And this is one part of it. And the other part of it is creator mode. I don't think creator mode is for us. I don't think creator mode is for people who are already producing content. Thank you very much. Right? We're already doing this. We already switched to follow. We're quite aware of our, our follower stats, and we know how to produce content. I think creator mode is firmly leveled at the people that have not quite done it yet, right? The fledgling, the nascent content creators. This is not for us.
I kind of think
that's my theory.
Post is the same way too, because it gives you an easy way to take something you say and turn it into a post that you may not otherwise post on your own.
Right. Absolutely. That's my theory. And when I asked recently whether or not CM Creator Mode has done anything for you, this poll is still ongoing. 5 days left. You can see, by the way, why people love polls. I mean, look at the views, right? If people are at all interested in views, or get excited about views, wow, 76,000 views, right? That's why people do polls.
I mean, I've done one poll, and my poll was about polls, and it got 82,000 views.
Right. So that's interesting, isn't it?
But do you know how much business I got from that one poll and those 82,000 views?
Hit me.
Zero.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
No business.
Which is disappointing.
Right? Which is the point. Like when you're you're in social selling, especially, who cares if you get 82,000 views if it doesn't bring you some prospects?
Right. Yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, if you're on LinkedIn to get clients, or frankly, for whatever it is, whatever purpose it is, if it's for your business or for your own career development, et cetera, if you're not actually getting the ROI, well, that's not true. I want to let me rephrase this. You've got to be getting something out of it in order to keep trucking on with the content production, whatever it is.
Strategy number 2 in LinkedIn, it's simple. Know your goals. Understand why you're on LinkedIn and what you want to achieve from being there. And if you don't know that, then you're just going to be seeking vanity metrics for the sake of vanity metrics. And you need to understand what you're doing, why you're on the platform to begin with. So know your goals.
Absolutely.
Strategy 2 in LinkedIn made simple.
Yep. Number 9. Without a doubt. And I think most people understand that. I think, I can't imagine people are just like pecking on the computer, on the keyboard, and just doing stuff and pushing out stuff and, aspirational content, stuff about their kids, marriage, injuries, hospitalization, et cetera. Can't imagine people are doing that without some kind of ROI in mind. I would hope, right, that they're doing that with some kind of goal.
You would hope.
Not just to be present, but actually contributing, adding value, and being seen as someone who is providing some kind of benefit, whether it's straight entertainment or it's educational, some kind of plus to certainly for people to spend their precious time with you, with me, right, with them. Jeremy Picker is saying, do you recommend to turn it off, or doesn't matter either way? Jeremy, the problem with creator mode and assessing it from my perspective, and I suggest other people's perspectives too, is that there are so many different factors that influence how content is distributed and whether or not it gets engagement. and it's really hard to pinpoint the effect of any one thing, including a bundle like creator mode, which is what it is, right? And it's all primarily profile page, isn't it? It's not really, it's not on the content piece. This is all profile page. It's moving a few things around on your profile page,
right?
You know, because when someone asked LinkedIn about topics and, you know, what were they, how were they relevant, LinkedIn just said, no, they are. It's like, no, they're relevant. Well, but in what way? Specifically, what is their effect? And we've not had that answer. So for now, you know, I've left it switched on. I don't imagine that I'll be able to tell one way or the other, because of, you know, like I said, there being so many different factors that go into the whole ball game of content.
Yeah, I turned mine off. I turned it on, saw the little switch that it does to your profile, and then I just turned it right back off.
Yeah. I'm leaving it on because I'm I tried selling my topics as a branding opportunity, but that really didn't do anything. I mean, if that had got thousands of eyeballs and I got 6 paying advertisers, then, you know, maybe that would have been something. But I'm just trying new things here.
Yeah. Experiment, see what works.
Yeah. So I've got 3 or 4 minutes. How are you for time? I'm
good. Yeah. I'm very pleased that my Wi-Fi is holding up here in the middle of North Dakota.
That's great. What is your Wi-Fi setup? Have you got a provider that you?
Yeah, so I'm using a hotspot.
Yep.
And it's working fine. The internet at the RV park here is good. First thing in the morning when no one is awake.
So yeah.
But as soon as everybody wakes up, it just drags it down. So
it gets clogged. Yeah, absolutely. So all right, let's see if there are any questions in chat. If you have any questions at all, let's go to AMA style. 26 people who are watching us now. Thank you so much for joining us. Any questions for myself or Ryan, please go ahead and type them in. So when are you coming home? Are you towards the end of your RV tryout? And what are some things that you want to change about the RV?
Yeah, if any. We're not going to come back until like August 10th, 12th, somewhere in there. My son goes to college on the 15th, I think. So we want to make sure we're back to get him off to college. But we're on the road for the next 4 weeks.
Wow.
And we've officially stayed in the camper more than we have before. We did a few kind of test trips beforehand. So we've worked out a few things. There are a few little tweaks that I would make here and there with the RV, but overall, like it's actually been a pretty great experience.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I was nervous. Like yesterday, I took 2 client calls from the road. You know, when you're trying to run a business while you're traveling, it can be a little challenging. So I was really nervous about internet stuff, and I still am to a point. But everything seems to be working out okay so far. Of course, I did spend like 6 months researching, making sure that I could continue to do this. And so it's been good this week. This week alone, I've booked 2 new clients. So
fantastic.
It's working.
Really good. Very cool. Yeah. I think a lot of people, perhaps before COVID, got that bug and wanted to be self-sufficient. I've always been fascinated by the whole boondocking thing and having, you know, solar on the roof, water, not endless water, but the ability to go into a river with a live straw and just go, or, you know, with a bigger version and just essentially live without any need to hook up, plug in or any of that stuff. Of course, you know, going to Walmart and getting your food. It's just a very interesting premise that lots of folks are doing. And because I've been watching van life YouTube for a long time because I'm just fascinated by it. All right, so we've got 27 people. Any questions, folks, from you?
Yep, we got one pop up.
Jim Wolf says, damn, I'm late to the party. Sorry, chaps. Watch the replay, Jim. No worries. We were late ourselves.
By the way, Jim connected with me this past weekend, and he got a very scenic view when I responded to him via video.
Excellent.
Thanks for connecting, Jim.
Very good. Yeah. So Jim has got the E at the end, so I obviously like that. What will be your prediction to creator mode? Will there be any improvement to the current settings? Yandero is asking. I don't know. I'm hoping that those hashtags become clickable, or if they're topics that LinkedIn gives us the next phase to enable us to fully understand what the purpose of these topics are, because to have them as this like zombie words that just don't do anything is like to telegraph the subjects, right? 5 topics that we are interested in doesn't really move the needle in the content creation game. I don't think. It's just weird. And the other stuff, like I said, is shuffling stuff around. So there needs to be something that actually, as an example, the analytics that we get with our company page and the stuff that's what should be incorporated into our current dashboard on our profile page. And more than that, we need clicks. We don't need views. Views are nonsense, right? I don't care about 70,000 views on my poll if I don't get any business, as you said, Ryan, right? What I care about is clicks. I want to know who's clicking on a regular basis on my stuff, right? What time of day, how often, from what locale. And of course, all of that can be done by hashtags 2.0 because LinkedIn, they've got all that data. And for whatever reason, they're not sharing it with us. So hashtags 2.0 is, I hope, the next step of creator mode.
Which you talk about in the book, LinkedIn Made Simple.
Yes, that's number 10. Nicely done, sir.
You have a little check mark you're counting over there because that's funny you are.
I think I've lost a few. It's probably up to 12 now. Yeah.
Hey, I interviewed lots of people on my podcast. I can easily transition anything to any topic.
I know you can. That's where we first met on your podcast. Dude, so someone, what someone should do is, you've got the LinkedIn Made Simple 13 book,
there you go.
Right? Is there a LinkedIn? Someone should do a LinkedIn Made Simple course with online videos and like a group, like a mastermind type thing where you can get together and help people one-on-one, or as a group where we learn from each. Why is someone not doing that?
I totally love it. We should have done it. In fact, we did. Yes, and people can learn about it if they go to linkedinmadesimple.com. And in the group program, it's both Andy and myself answering questions and giving insider tips that we come up with, and just having open discussions about how to better use LinkedIn to achieve your goals. Strategy number 2.
So what's the best way to get to LinkedIn Made Simple? Is it just a question of typing LinkedIn Made Simple in Google, or is it linkedinmadesimple.com?
It's linkedinmadesimple.com.
Wow.
If you're going to type into Google, you may as well just add the .com.
Nice. I see Shelley Piedmont. What are your thoughts on a Clubhouse competitor for LinkedIn? Well, we talked about it, but yeah, it should come. And if the time taken, right, from studying Clubhouse when LinkedIn staff were on Clubhouse, if the time taken, right, earlier this year when they were all over it, to now, hopefully on the verge of producing their version, I hope it's got all the goodness of LinkedIn, right? And what they've learned, right? All the stuff that wasn't quite working on Clubhouse. I hope that they've done a fantastic blend. And let's see it in groups. Let's see it in events. And because groups is it's a no-brainer, right? There are ready-made communities out there crying out for engagement of some kind. Whether or not they'll jump into audio engagement is another question. But boy, I can't wait to see that as the owner of a bunch of large groups. So yeah, I'm very keen to see what they do. And right, hurry up and wait. Should I use my creator hashtags in my post? Asks Jim. Yeah, But I mean, we don't know what effect they're going to have, Jim, and they're not, they're called topics by LinkedIn, which, as we've discussed, is quite weird. But yeah, why not? Try it and tell us if you notice anything.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Dude, thank you so much for joining me. I know we had a wee technical glitch early, and
something with the browser I was using. Chrome didn't like me. Firefox apparently does.
It was pretty strange, but we figured it out. And thank you to all of the folks that tuned in and all of the folks that are going to watch on replay. This is going to be a regular show, so LinkedIn Made Simple with Andy and Ryan every Wednesday, same time, 11 p.m. Central. And it'll be this style of Ask Me Anything and talking about the latest stuff that's happening on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And
I would encourage folks between now and next Wednesday, if you have questions, just send them to Andy and I, either through DMs or one way or another. Let us know, and we'll make sure we address them during each week.
Great suggestion. Yes, please hit us with your suggestions so we can get some notice and do our best to answer them in full. All right, in 6 minutes, I'm going to do my 16 question show.
What? I'm not going to be there. It's just going to be you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I can handle it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
You should come on as a guest in the lukewarm seat.
Maybe not right away. I have to prepare.
Yeah, that's the fun about this. There's no prep with.
I need to go get my hair done.
Yes.
Before we do that, like, this is more casual. Yours is more formal. So I want to,
yes.
Like,
It's not formal at all.
Maybe shift to another, camera angle from the RV.
Yeah, dude, enjoy life on the road. We'll obviously chat and have a good one. And
right,
I will see you soon.
Okay, man.
Right,
so long, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Ciao. Happy Labor Day. Bye.